What's happening, Wisdom Warriors? Back at it for another video. Yeah, yeah. How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday here where I'm at. What a gorgeous day, man. Had to be 60s, sunshine, just warmth. The first real warmth we've had in a while. Granted, it's been a pretty good winter. Uh, hasn't We've had days that were extremely cold. I'm not going to say the gloomy days and the rain was great, but every time that it seemed to happen, it was warm or warmer, and I'm truly grateful for that and truly blessed. And well, you know, I'm thankful. And so I didn't know really where I wanted to start with this video, or where I was going to lead up to with it, but I want to dive deeper, a little bit deeper into what I was talking about yesterday, and just me having these expectations of this channel. And I was watching a YouTuber that started the channel 3 years ago, and they were at like 41 subscribers, and now they're over 1 million 3 years later. And, you know, I realized that I have to drop the expectations of me trying to be seen by this large, huge audience. And because what essentially is going to really happen if that occurs? Let's say I get 5,000 subscribers, or I get 10,000. Granted, more people will find my content that needs it. More people may grow and expand and evolve from it. More people may get something out of what I had to say that helped them in their life to better themselves. Those are all great things that my intention is behind that. But then the ego wants me to have this big, huge audience that is commenting on every video and showing me love. And it's almost like I'm looking for that externally when I am giving myself love and compassion and kindness internally. And but yet there's a part of me, like probably majority of us on this planet, that need that validation. And that's more so the ego than the soul, the higher self, because the higher self is not going to want that, doesn't need that. And yet I'm realizing that, but then there's still that struggle of me wanting that recognition for the videos I put up and for the content I'm sharing, um, that essentially I probably didn't get from my family, my parents. Um, I most definitely was lacking that, that deep love that you have for one another. Um, I really didn't get that. Their form of love is a different form of love that I'm looking for, or I have been looking for. Um, Having gone through bullying as a young age and name calling and emotional abuse by peers, um, also physically, did not help. It caused me to, um, well, again, I don't blame those situations because I understand on a deeper level that our higher self or our soul is showing us for us and by us. Do I justify what they're doing? Hell no. Because they're just as hurt and in pain as I was, and still, again, because I think that no matter what, we're on this healing journey, which I don't believe ever ends. It only ends if you want it to end and you numb out and you distract and you avoid. But I still think that the way things are now and the way things are going, we have to face those things. We aren't able to like we used to. So either way, we're going to have to face it at some point. And a lot of the deep, deep trauma is stored in the solar plexus, and so what I found is that it kind of pushed me into a way of like where I was isolating myself in school, and I was very self conscious about approaching women. I wanted to. I thought about it mentally. I thought about having that interaction internally, but then never actually took the action step because I was too afraid, too scared, too fearful of being rejected, which I think so many of us are. But some of us have courage regardless of the rejection. But being rejected by your camp counselors at sleepaway camp, being rejected by peers in your classes, having to hide in the library, having to run because my shoes were going to get stolen, all these different things were forms of being rejected. Um, Even though maybe I didn't go up to somebody formally and ask them to on a date or whatever, it's still a form of rejection, which deeply hurts to your core, especially when you're an adolescent, a kid, and all you want to do is be accepted into these groups and loved and shown respect and shown love by friends and just as you're growing up, which I didn't experience. Um, I more so experienced emotional abuse, like I said, bullying, being beat up, thrown in lockers, my head in the toilet, just all kinds of things that doesn't feel good at a young age, in middle school or high school. I even believe that I think it was happening in elementary school too. So the name calling, the just, you know, it follows you. It most definitely follows you through your adult into your adult age. And what can I say really, other than it's a form of rejection. So then you're rejecting yourself and then you're seeking outside of you that acceptance and love from you end up going down the wrong path to the wrong groups of people doing drugs, doing alcohol, doing whatever you can do, substances, food addictions, porn addiction, gaming addiction, whatever the case may be, you gravitate to those things to numb out from those feelings because on top of it, we aren't taught at a young age how to even feel those emotions or uh, what they're meant to feel like and to express them and to feel them, be with them, express them, that they're okay. We're kind of taught, especially the ones that most people don't want to um, acknowledge, which are anger and rage and fear, and those can be healthy too if they're used in healthy ways, versus like just letting it pile up and um, building upon that resentment and that anger, and then eventually it turns into rage, and then then you're a loose cannon, a ticking time bomb, which you who knows when and where you'll explode, and so those were all things that I adopted in my life, And I started to realize, I think it was today, I started to reflect on these things that I was doing and what I was experiencing, and that I started to do that in relationships. And I started to not trust women, not trust people that I was, women that I was dating. And a lot of good ones did come in, and yet I pushed them away due to me not even realizing the patterns that I was um, upholding to. And they wanted to get closer, and I pulled back, because of, I guess, fear of abandonment, fear of them just coming in. And because that was a common theme that I went through in my growing up, a lot of friends and relationships I was in, they were there for short periods of time, and then started to disappear. And that was not easy to experience. I think also like going to sleepaway camp away from in a whole nother state triggered massive abandonment. And then going there and being bullied by the counselors, and watching other kids get bullied and mistreated and abused emotionally and physically. I'll get more into that as time goes on. Again, I'm I guess I'm going where this is going right now, and so I started to get in these relationships just for the pure pleasure and instant gratification of them, and chasing them for the instant gratification part of it. And but every time they began to get very close, I would kind of pull back, and I noticed that actually in my last relationship in 2017, going into 2018, which I actually ended due to my health at the time. But also, I think that I wasn't ready for it to continue and get serious, especially at the state that I was in. So I essentially ended it. And I know it hurt the other person, because I know that there is no possible humanly way that she wasn't, um, that she didn't have feelings. I knew she did. But right away, I thought that she was, right away. Let me break this down real quick, because what happened is, prior to me ending it, we were supposed to actually meet up and exchange some things that we got for each other. And I remember her starting to tell me some things about her daughter, and um, that her daughter was experiencing and going through. And so it was kind of like she almost was like she didn't want to put me through anything more. So it was almost like she was kind of hinting that we really should probably, think about what we're doing here. And right away, I remember this like it was yesterday. I remember when she was telling me this. And the way that I took it was that she was kind of like trying to end the relationship. And so in my mind, maybe I was already like, because of that, I got defensive. Not in an argumentative way, but I just got defensive in a way that I said, I don't think we should meet up. I don't think it's a good idea. Like the way that you were speaking to me, not, she wasn't speaking nasty or anything, but just the way she was speaking to me, like as if she was kind of hinting, so I would then turn around and end the relationship so she didn't have to do it. Almost, maybe, or maybe that was just in my mind. But looking back now and actually remembering it like it was yesterday, and her telling me that, it put me into defensive mode. And then what I ended up doing was I said, you know what? I actually said I got to go right now. And I ended up texting her and saying, you know what? I don't think it's a good idea that we meet up. And then she waited a few minutes, and I think she said her grandmother felt the same way. And so we didn't end up meeting up. Well, I started all of a sudden formulating this message that I was going to send her. In hindsight, looking back now, I would have never done that. I would have done it in person or over the phone. I didn't think that it was right. Uh, I didn't I didn't like the way that I handled it. Granted, I did tell her in a long, long message that I had to do this for myself. I had a lot of health issues I was dealing with, and there was no way that at that point I could give to her anymore. As hard as it was for me to do that, and it was extremely hard because I truly believe that we are soulmates. And I truly believe that I could see her soul. And again, do I believe we have many soulmates? Yes. Do I believe that she had came in my life at a certain time for a certain reason? 100%. So, with that being said, she served the purpose that she came in to do. That's what I truly believe. Some people are in our lives for a season, some people are in our lives for a lifetime, and some people are just there for a short period of time, and she came in prior to several months before I hit rock bottom in 2017. She probably came in around July or August. We met, and then I hit rock bottom sometime in November, probably like the week before Thanksgiving or 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. So, you know, um, I know that she came in for a purpose, for a reason, to be there to get me prepared for what I was about to go down, the path that I was about to go down. Because I was, I felt like I was thriving prior when I met her. Man, I was in my glory. I was at the gym 7 days a week. I was bulked up. I was just living high on life, man, dating. And then she came along. And, it was interesting to say the least, but uh, I believe that all of it was happening for me and to me and by me, and the fact of the matter is, you know, I learned a lot. There was a lot of growth involved, and expansion. And I felt like when I did write her, it was at the point of where I was starting to soul search, and find me and find who I am and what I want and my worth and my value. And these last 5 or 6 years has shown me a lot of my worth and value and who I'm willing to give my time to and is deserving of that, and it took me a lot to to find myself and find what I want out of life and what I um, need and who I'm looking for and who I'm not looking for and who I want to have in. Before those 5 or 6 years, I was just letting in any random person, and I was giving away my energy to any random person, and taking theirs, absorbing theirs, because I'm an empath, and I'm a Cancer, so, sign, and I'm very intuitive. But the thing of it is I struggled with doubting the intuition, you know, and wasn't believing it, and didn't trust it. So I doubted everything. And I was putting more value into the external than internally. So I was putting more weight on the external, like doctors and, just, oh yeah, I got to ask like 10 zillion different people before I make my own decision. And then my answer would be, well, you know what? I got to ask all these different people. And then I'm going to formulate my decision from asking all those people. And then take that and then sit on that and meditate on that and then decide my answer. Why? Why? I have all the answers right here. I don't need to go to 20 different people and ask their opinions. Most likely their energy is gonna then potentially mess up whatever my plans are, by giving me negative feedback or positive. I'm not saying that that can't help. And I'm not saying that that's not something you couldn't do, but I've learned that there's a lot of things we have to keep secret until a certain point because there can be negative connotations put on those goals that we have or those things that we're doing. And then we essentially they get derailed. So we have to go within and ask the questions ourselves, and that's why I'm also part of why I'm on this tarot reading journey, because I believe that it's going to help me deepen my connection to my higher self, to my intuition, to my gut feeling. It's just going to make that hone in on that more deeply. And I think I really not I think I really believe that this is the next stage or part of my journey. And I've been kind of getting trained for months now, watching all these different tarot card readers on YouTube. And I'm taking another course that I just signed up for by this other guy I watch. He just put out a course. He's only charging 11.11. It's got like 80 videos. I started already doing that a little bit, but I think Monday is when the class starts. So I'm definitely going to document this journey with you guys, and we'll see at the end of the 5 weeks where I'm at. No expectations, mind you. I'm not setting any expectations. I'm just going to have fun with it. I'm going to let go and I'm going to surrender and I'm going to enjoy the process and the journey, and but yeah, man, let me tell you, the dating world can really, really, really make you look inward and and explore things about yourself that you could have possibly never done. And just dating, mind you, does that. It really makes you start to look at the patterns that you're repeating by the people that you're dating. And I realized this like a couple videos ago when I was talking to you guys about it, how I was getting these women that were just trying to take advantage of me and, play games and, hey, I need an Amazon gift card, or my phone screen cracked. Can you send me whatever? I don't remember now, but I was getting these same types of women, and uh, it's in hindsight and looking back, it's like, holy cow, man. Wow. I didn't realize when I was going through it, I was like, what the hell is going on? Why am I attracting this? And I'm starting to realize, like, like the trust that I've had with women, it's been very rocky. And I had a lot of instances when I was young with women in class, like peers, that were made fun of me and all kinds of stuff. And I had difficulty trusting women, and always it was ingrained in my mind, like, watch out, they're out to get you, they're going to take advantage of you, financially, whatever. Uh, and that could be lineages, that could be ancestral, that could be stored trauma from previous lives I've had, you know, um, just a whole lot of things, that I'm deep diving in and I'm exploring, you know. So I think that's where we're going to end this video. I feel that this is what I needed to say and needed to bring to you guys. And, uh, it's interesting, man, because a lot of these situations are just by us and for us. But we look at it as, oh, it's happening to me. Oh, this is happening to me. No, it's happening by you and for you. When you look at it in that way, it brings a whole new perspective, and it brings a whole new way to look. at these things and these situations and these outcomes and why they're happening. And, um, you know, if you keep seeing a repeated pattern like I did with women when I was dating, you know, look, first of all, not only were they doing that, but it always led with sex or some kind of sexual intimacy, dirty talking, whatever it was. It always started out like that. And then it turned into friendship, friend zoning. And it was a common theme. They all wanted to be friends with me, and I didn't want it. I was pushing them away. No, I'm not looking for friends. I'm looking for a relationship, you know? But then the patterns would repeat, and it was like a cycle. And it would be they wanting money, they wanting gift cards, they wanting something. And then it would turn into that would end that cycle. And then I'd go into this cycle of, I'd meet this chick or female, excuse me, and it would turn out right out the gate, man. It would go into like just sexual, just sexting, whatever you want to call it. All that's how it always started out, and then it just never ended lasting, never lasted. There was no real solid foundation, and that's what I've learned from that is what I want is a solid foundation to build that deep connection, to build that deep emotional connection, to have that solid foundation first and foremost before you even tap into any of that other stuff. That is all fine and great, in the relationship, but once you have that solid foundation, it makes a world of a difference. Um, and that respect and that the boundaries in place, uh, that's where the magic happens. That's where you build a beautiful relationship based off of non-attachment, just love, and based off of, oh, okay, this person is here and they're helping me expand. They're pulling beautiful parts of me out of me. They're evolving with me and separately, and we're pulling things out of each other, like the beautiful parts of ourselves that they're bringing the best out of us. I'm bringing the best out of her, and she's bringing the best out of me. That is the relationship that I want. That deep emotional connection. Just not surface level. You know, that's kind of what I want in every relationship I have. I know that's not humanly possible, but I want to surround myself with people that we have deep connections. We have it's not just surface level. I find that what am I doing with my time when it's so extremely valuable, and I have a huge amount to offer, just as all of us do. And why waste our time when it's precious? And time is all we have, because we can make that money back, but we can't get that time back. So why sit there and be in relationships that don't serve your highest good? And I've realized that's all I want to do. I want relationships that serve my highest good. And if it is not, then I'm not about it. I'm not interested. Before I wasn't interested in friendships. Now I've changed and I've decided that if it's not serving my highest good and we each can't grow from the relationship, then I don't want it. If we can't expand and evolve from the relationship, then I don't want it. It's not going to be in my aura, in my vicinity. It's just not going to happen. I've come to a point in my life where I've realized how much I'm worth and my worth and value is, and that goes for working a job, that goes for money, that goes for taking on things that I don't feel are worth my time or my value. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. And that may seem arrogant and cocky, but I will tell you this with much conviction: what I've been through in my life and what I've experienced is far beyond what many can even fathom. And not many could walk in these shoes having gone through what I've gone through. And so I know my value and I know my worth and I know what I'm worth. And I'm going to get more deeper in this topic and in this on this channel because we all have so much value and worth. And our time is very valuable, not what they've made it to sound like it is. Oh, yeah, $10 an hour is a lot. Bust your ass for $10 an hour. Like, no, I've realized I've worked those jobs. I've worked every type of from one side to the other, and I'm not saying that I'm above anybody else, okay? But it comes a point where you have to know your worth and you have to realize your value. And I think that when we take these types of jobs and we take these types of relationships and we put ourselves in these relationships, they begin to wake us up to realize our worth and value and what our worth and value is and what it's about. And then you start to realize, fuck, I'm not going to do this. And it's not that it's above you or below you, it's just what you've been through and your experiences. And like, you're not going to settle anymore. Like, I'm not going to settle for like the way I was before. The way I was before was I was desperate just to get into a relationship because I wanted that instant gratification. I wanted that one off with that female. And I don't look at it that way anymore. I'm not that way anymore. I don't see it that way anymore. I see women as equal. I see them as a beautiful, beautiful soul, just like I am, just like we all are. And their body is their temple, like my body is my temple. And it deserves respect. And it deserves boundaries. And it deserves to be treated with love, compassion, and just like a princess, like I should be a king, And when we realize that, it changes. Everything changes. Everything changes. You just start to look at everything around you differently, and everything becomes a value. That tree standing out there in front of me is a value. It's consciousness. I'm consciousness. This body is so miraculous and so amazing. It can heal itself, and it does every single day if we allow it. If we don't try to step in with the ego and step in with fear, and we just allow it to do the magic it's here to do, it will heal anything. So I hope you got something out of this video. I love you all so much. We are of worth and value, and you deserve the world. You deserve for coming here in on this planet in this time. You deserve to have everything you ever wanted, because this is not an easy time to be here. But we're here to heal and shift and evolve and grow. And I love you all so much, man. I come on here every single day, and maybe I won't every single day. Maybe I will. I don't know. But as of right now, I've been feeling called to do it. And everything I spoke today is from the heart, from my heart to yours. I send you so much love and so much compassion for yourself and so much empathy and kindness. Treat yourself with all of that because you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve every bit of it. I love you all so much. I hope you got something out of this. If you didn't, that's okay too. But if you watched it up to this point, you probably did. And you probably needed this message. So just know your value and know your worth, man. And dating and going in these situations will start to make you realize the worth and value you have. Not what the matrix and the external puts on us. And basically makes us feel like we are devalued. We don't have worth. And it's time we stand up and we realize how valuable we are. and how valuable our time is and how valuable we can't get back that time. Once it's gone, it's gone. But you can make more money, you can make more friends. So be mindful of who you're surrounding yourself with and how much time you're giving to certain people and certain things and giving your energy to. It's vitally important. I love you all so much. Take care of yourself and each other with compassion and love from my heart to yours. I love you all so much. Take care. Let's go, Wisdom Warriors. We got this.